It seems like we're about to jump into game 4. Both players kind of joking a little bit about who's going to be the first one to temple. And right now, I wouldn't blame Richie.
I would completely agree. I wouldn't be surprised to see either of these players temple. I mean, Pad has been the master of comebacks, and his aggression hasn't been that effective. So if I was Richie, I wouldn't think Pad would be that aggressive, or at least I wouldn't think his aggression would do that much, at least his early game stuff.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, but if you think about the map Entombed, horizontal is absolutely atrocious to play. Like, it's been taken out by most tournament maps. But right now we do have vertical spawns, which is nearly as close, and very, very deadly. So if now's the game to do that kind of aggression, that 14-14, that Bainling bust, now's the time, because the distances are just so close. You can get the Bainlings there way before they have any idea it's coming. It's
Where
very
is Richie
close.
Scouting? I would just like to ask, just quickly, where is he
guessing
going?
He's stuck on map mode. I mean,
I think he is. He's on ladder mode.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you should know that horizontal spawns aren't in this game, but a little slight mistake there. It's not going to really hinder him, as he's going to see Pad's Overlord coming from the south anyway of his second Overlord, so he's immediately going to know that he's there, and he should have known that anyway. Maybe he's just stuck thinking, I'm playing ladder, so you have to scout everywhere.
Absolutely, just have to make sure that there's no proxies or anything. And there is Richie's expansion going down at the 15. So that was fairly early. And Pad is going for for spawning pool gas again.
Yeah, I mean, this opening is fairly safe. You can kind of optimize it a little bit. Basically, on bigger maps, what you do is you go spawning pool on 14 and then hatchery on 15. On smaller maps, you go spawning pool 14, gas 15, hatch 15. So you just got those Banelings just in case. And that's a very, very smart move by Pad there. Just playing it nice and safe. We've kind of seen this pattern out of him. He plays nice, safe builds or super aggressive when Richie plays greedy. Richie's playing extremely greedy. Basically, this 15 hatch on this map is almost suicidal, but I think he's got Pad's number now. I think he's got him. I think he's got him sussed.
I think you may be right. Richie is figuring it out. And if Pad wins this game, he does take the series. So this is definitely the game for Richie to be using his head. His spawning pool is just about to finish, so we will see those queens out as soon as possible. There is the first one on the way, and we'll see the second one in production when that natural expansion finishes. There it is in the production tab, and the Ling's out to help defend his natural from any really early aggression that Pad decides to throw out.
Exactly. Now Richie, because he's played so greedy, he needs to get that spine crawler down. He needs a couple of Lings out just to make sure nothing crazy's coming. But he does scout the expansion. He does see the third Overlord moving out. He doesn't see any sort of Lings gathered. So, if he really wanted to, he could skip that spine crawler. But later on, it's going to hurt him more than help him, I think. And Richie just continuing to play greedy, droning up as much as possible. You do see him with a slight lead now.
Absolutely, he is a little bit ahead. His expansion has been up for longer. His spine crawler has finished up too, so he is in a fairly well-defended position. He does not have his Baining nest though, so taking a bit of a risk there, or at least taking a while to get it, whereas Pad is about halfway finished. And there we go, double gas coming down for Richie.
Yeah, that's exactly what he needs to do. He needs to catch up on this gas, because basically all he's got to defend this wide open ramp, where, by the way, your main ramp isn't really defended. You need to get the queens in there. As you can see, he's forced to build a second spine crawler, because basically if Pad decides now's the time, I want to make Banelings at your front door, what can Richie really do?
Pretty much nothing, and Pad is dancing around with his Lings at the moment, darting in, trying to get some scouting. He has seen Richie's on the way. Richie going into the third base, seeing if there's anything really early, and will be able to kill it if there is. And looks like we will see a Ling confrontation where Pad has easily the advantage, and he will deny pretty much all scouting from Richie. He will get in, see a spine crawler and the third, and that is about it.
Yeah, exactly. Now, if I was Pad, Pad's got a little bit of an advantage here because if he places his units in this kind of area here and just keeps this area monitored, he can easily take and defend a third. While kind of Richie's got a more awkward position, his army has to be right out the way to defend his third rather than kind of sitting by his natural. So if I was in Pad's shoes, hopefully he recognises this and decides to go kind of free base Roach Infestor and then just do small, contingencies of attacks onto Richie's thirds. But, that's just me. Maybe Pad's thinking a completely different way to me right now.
Maybe, and we have seen the second evolution chamber for Richie finished up. So he's going to be favouring this upgrade start, getting that range upgrade. So he will be moving into Roaches very shortly, and there is his second 2 gas on the way in his natural expansion. So definitely going for very heavy Roaches and possibly some Hydras thrown in there too.
Yeah, I really like this build from Richie. I just don't like it on this map.
I would agree.
It's a very, very good map.
No,
it's a very good map, but I feel he should have done this build on Daybreak or on, on Antigua where it's much larger, but kind of close spawns on Entombed where your third's really hard to hold. I really don't like this build from Richie on this map.
Pad's build is definitely more effective as he's much faster, much more maneuverable with his units, and he's able to dance around and defend his third, take his third fairly efficiently, whereas Richie, his army is a bit more slow and lumbering, so it's going to take him more time to defend, and there's more chance of stuff getting sniped, basically. Hence why he seems to have a lot of spine crawlers out to basically defend himself, whereas army isn't really good for it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, these spine crawlers are great for defending this natural, but what do you do if you want to defend your third? What do you do if, Lings just run into your main? This map is just so hard to hold if you don't, have that mobile army, as you've stated, if you don't have a lot of Lings. And it looks like Pad's doing a very, very strange build. He's just going for those 1-1 upgrades. He might... Yeah, there we go. The Infestation Pit is going down, which means that he is going to go Ling Infestor into 3 bases, into 4 bases, into Ultralisks. And Richie's going to go for that pure kind of Roach composition. The awkward part of this build is coming up very soon. At 11 or 12 minutes, when Richie's ready to attack, it's going to be very, very hard for Pad to hold with just Lings and Infestors. Basically, it all comes down to Fungals. If he doesn't get those Fungals, Richie wins. If he does get those Fungals and allows Pad to get up to that Ultralist tech, I think Pad wins this game very, very easily from there.
The thing is, right now, Pad has an awful lot of Lings, and he's gathered them all up. His +1 attack has finished, and his +1 defense will finish up very soon. He may actually dodge all... He's going to dodge all of the Overlords until right when he's outside his opponent's space. No, he is dancing back, and he will move into slight range. I think he did actually miss that overall, but only just. If he goes in now, he's going to do so much damage. Level 2-2 upgrades are on the way for Richie, though, so those Roaches are going to be very effective at dealing with these Lings. But if the Lings can get this around, they're going to take quite a lot of them with them. And Pad is taking what I would think is a bit too much time waiting for his +1 defense. More Lings streaming across the map. They have now been spotted by that Overlord, and Richie's going to be wondering where are those Lings going. Hence why his Roaches are now positioned outside the ramp to the third to try and defend this. But if Pad goes in, as you've said before, if Pad goes into the natural or the main, then there's nothing Richie can do about it.
Exactly, and I think with these Lings and these upgrades, he might just be able to just outright kill these Roaches. We'll soon find out.
He's moving through, and there's the surround, getting quite a lot of them. There is only a single spine crawler there. Roach is doing a fairly good job of keeping themselves alive. More Lings streaming in from the back. Roach reinforcements coming in from the natural expansion. Roaches are dying left, right, and centre. Queen doing a good job. Good transfuses from the Queen, keeping the Roaches alive. But there's so many Lings here. The upgrade count is about to move in favour of Richie, though. The +2 attack is about to finish, and that's going to help him pretty much one-shot these Lings, doing so much damage. But there's not enough Roaches left. 12 more Roaches in production, though. So it looks like Richie will be able to hold this, but that's a lot of damage done from Pad. He's going to be able to get a couple more Roaches before this is over. And oh, bit of lag there. And possibly get a few drones as well. He's going to be able to kill all the Roaches coming out of this third. And here come quite a few Roaches now. And this attack will be cleaned up and chased out. 44 Lings in production for Pad. He's not giving up. He's going for it still. Infestors moving their way across the map to do damage, but there's no units with them. Moving away. Good fungal on some of those Roaches. They're having to retreat now. They have no reinforcements. Those Lings need to get there fast. and Pad is going to regroup by the Zelnaga Watchtower, wait for his Lings to arrive. His +2 attack is about to finish up, +2 defense is about to finish up for Richie, but it's only just started for Pad. Pad is behind in the upgrades and in supply at the moment, but in behind this, his third base is almost complete. Sorry, it is complete and is beginning to drone it up. And here we go, Lings slowly moving forward. Infestors with them. Infested Terrans going down under the massive Overlord farm, which is not going to be good if he is able to snipe a few of those. And here we go, moving in, good fungal on the Roaches. Lings getting involved. Fungals going down all over the place. Chain Fungals getting so much damage to the Roaches, but the upgrade count is so far in favor of Richie. He's able to chase back these Lings, more reinforcing Lings coming in, and the Infestors have to get out of there too sweet. Lings have been decimated right now, and the infested Terrans are basically just being picked off right now. Lings being pulled back from Pad, basically getting into an easily defendable position. More Lings on the way, a couple Bain Lings for safety, because Richie is going on the counter-attack. He's got a couple Hydras mixed in with that Force, and he's going to move in right now. Does Pad have enough to defend this? If he gets good Fungals, he's going to be able to destroy this, and Pad has lost some Overlords somewhere. I'm not sure where, I'm guessing from these Hydras, and that's not going to help him at all. Couple Lings moving in, getting a good surround on the Roaches. Bain Lings moving in, annihilating those Hydras and destroying a huge clump of those Roaches. This is easily going to make Pad able to defend this. More Roach reinforcements coming in. Infested Terrans going down. Lings destroying Roaches right now. And Pad producing 34 more Lings, which will easily clear this up. Roaches are going to be able to get a couple of Infestors though. Good Fungal there. But the Lings are now moving in. A couple of Infestors did go down to a stray Roach that managed to escape the initial Fungals. But there we go, Pad able to defend that with very little economic damage done to it.
Yeah, exactly. Pad doing such a good job, but I feel like he's got tunnel vision. He thought he could win at that third. You know, his fourth's now delayed, and if he's going for that Ultralist tech, he needs that fourth. His drone count isn't where it should be, considering the game. He lost way too many Lings, and I think Richie might, if he gets his fourth established, he can just push and win, because the Infestor count's getting low, the Ling count's getting low, the upgrades on these Roaches are fairly good. Infestors don't have fungal energy, they're forced to lay Infested Terran, and these Roaches are just now clearing up. Pad's in a very, very tough position. It's going to come right down to the last second here. And just as I said that, these Infestors are going to pop, and they are going to be the key to surviving this attack. But the Roaches are moving in. They're going to pick off drones. They're going to stop this gas, and that's exactly what they need to do.
Absolutely, Lings moving in, good Fungals, getting groups of Roaches, Lings pouring in, Bailings also pouring in. They will decimate this army. Roaches so good though, so much health. But the Roaches are still alive actually, and they've spread themselves out quite well, making Fungals fairly useless. More reinforcing Roaches coming in, and GG from Pad.
Yeah, I think I've got a pretty good idea of where this game went wrong. Basically, Pad lost too many Infestors, and he wasted too many Fungals. So that kind of, those mid-game attacks, which I said, which could kill Pad straight outright, did kill him straight outright. He kind of got a little bit tunnel vision-y, you know, his drones was, when he was killing that third, attacking those Roaches, he should have been taking a fourth and droning up as hard as possible and spending lava on drones and Infestors rather than Lings, because he, you know, as Richie pushed that attack back, he made 44 Lings, which could have been 22 drones, or, you know, 20 drones and 2 Infestors, etc, etc. And then there was no spine crawlers to help either. It was just a bit of a shambles there by Pad, I think.